9 years old at my age, the government will be twice as much. Instead of taking 20 cents out of every dollar from the federal government, they'll take 40 cents out of every dollar. Double the tax burden, double the size of government, that shuts down prosperity. So we basically say, get government back toward its historic size. Get government spending back down to where it's historically been. Take a look at where our deficits are projected to go. Like I said, we've had deficits before. We've had surpluses, not much, but we've had them before. But what the Congressional Budget Office is telling us is our deficits literally get viciously out of control. And they just start spiraling out of our control. So what we propose to do is get our budget on the path to balance, run surpluses so we can pay off our debt. This is basically the fork in the road we're at right here. And we're simply saying get spending under control, grow the economy, so we can get ourselves on a better footing. Now, when you take a look at the debt I was showing you, this is what the Congressional Budget Office is telling us we're headed. This is what the Congressional Budget Office is telling us our budget achieves. It literally is a plan to pay down our debt. The debt peaks in 2 years and then goes down from there. And it never reaches that 90% tipping point, which really starts shutting down your economy. And that is basically the kinds of choices we have in front of us. And the point I would simply make is the sooner we do this, the better off we all are going to be, and the better we can do these things on our terms. Now, there's one issue that you're going to hear a lot about. I heard there's TV ads on this right now. That's Medicare. Now, Medicare right now is not the biggest government program, but it quickly becomes so because of the reasons I mentioned before. Here's what we suggest with Medicare. I want to ask a question. How many of you are 55 years of age or older? This budget does not affect your Medicare benefits. This budget says, and we believe we can do this by going now, a promise was made to you, you've already retired or you're about to retire, let's keep that promise. Let's keep that program funded as you have come to know it, as you expected it, as you organize your lives around it. But in order to do that, you've got to reform and save this program for the next generation. Medicare is going insolvent in 9 years. So you've got to do things, and everybody, the president, the trustees, they all acknowledge this. And the way in which we suggest doing it is convert the system for people who are 54 and below, the under 55 plan, to work just like the one I've got as a congressman and a federal employee. I've got a book. It comes to me every year. It's certain benefits. It says I get to pick among these different insurance plans. There's Humana, there's Blue Cross Blue Shield, Kaiser, Dean Care, and I choose the plan that the government sets up, and I pick my plan, and they pay for a portion of my premiums. That's what we're saying. This is the same idea that was recommended by President Clinton's National Bipartisan Commission to Save Medicare in the late 90s. It's not dissimilar than how Medicare works in many ways for many seniors. Medicare Advantage, or the prescription drug benefit, or the way people buy their Medigap and supplemental insurance. What it would be is Medicare would set up a list of comprehensive plans that are guaranteed coverage options, can't be denied based on your health condition. You pick the plan you want, just like seniors do with Medigap or prescription drugs, and then Medicare subsidizes it. And here's how we say it ought to be subsidized. If you're a middle or lower income person, you should get more. As you get sick, you get more. And if you're a wealthy person, you don't get as much. So we simply say, target these subsidies for the under 55 population, so those with less get more and those with more get less. That, doing it this way, saves the system and makes it permanently solvent. And it's, like I said, not an untested idea. What we've learned is having more choice, more competition, giving the senior the power to actually hire or fire the provider, makes them more competitive. It actually reduces costs. The prescription drug benefit was set up this way. And the prescription drug benefit came in 41% below cost. I mean, name me another government program that came in 41% below what it was expected to spend. There isn't any. Why is that? Because of choice, because of competition. So we want to harness that kind of power, that kind of savings for the next generation to stretch their Medicare dollar farther and to give more for people who don't have as much and less for people who have more. Now, there's another way of doing this, and that's a big debate we're having right now. The president does change the Medicare laws. The new health care law we have in place, a lot of folks think it just affects the under 65 population. No, it does quite a bit to Medicare. It takes a lot of money from Medicare to spend on this other government program. People have always complained about Social Security getting rated to pay for other programs. Well, Medicare is now spending to pay for other programs. We that money back toward making Medicare more solvent. The second thing that the current law does, and the president just announced that he wants to do more, is, hey Chad, just Chad.